Before I start the tutorial on the knit stitch, I'm going to show you guys how I hold my knitting needles, what I found is the easiest. So the needle that I'll be holding in my left hand, I always lean on my stomach somewhere, so wherever is comfortable for you, because that way your needle doesn't slip and it's kind of stabilized because you have something to lean on. And then from there, I just start knitting. So if you want to try that out, that's something that helps me a lot, to lean my left needle on my stomach somewhere. Alright, so now on to the tutorial. After you have casted on the number of stitches that you want for your knitting pattern, you can go ahead and start knitting. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to do the knit stitch. You have the ball end of the yarn here and the tail end of your yarn. You don't want to work off of the tail end because then you're just going to run out of yarn. So you can just leave this to the side and just make sure you don't confuse the two ends. And don't use the tail end. Again, you want to use the ball end of the yarn. So what you do to start the knit stitch is you hold the needle with the stitches casted on in your left hand. And this is for right-handed people. And then you hold the empty knitting needle without any yarn in your right hand. And you take the needle and you go ahead and from here, you put the needle like that into the first stitch from here. Not from behind, but from here. So you have it like that. So now you take the ball end of the yarn and you wrap it around the right needle. Then you take the right needle and you kind of just pull it through the first stitch. And you might need to angle it differently. You want to make sure you don't lose the yarn as you pull it through. Then you tighten and take it off the left needle. So again, I'm going to show you. You put it in, wrap the ball end of the yarn around the right needle, and then pull that through the stitch on the left needle, and then pull it off the left needle. And there you go, 2 stitches right there. So I'm just going to continue with the knit stitch and complete the row. So you just loop it around, pull it underneath, and then off the needle. Go in from the front, loop around, underneath, and pull it off the needle. Once you do this for a while, it kind of gets, you kind of get used to it, and it goes by really quickly. So this is the last stitch in this row, and you're done. And after you finish the row, you want to, and you want to start knitting the next row, you want to flip your work over. But before you do that, you might want to tighten the stitches, make sure they're even. So here is the first row that we completed. So now we're turning our work over. And we always want to keep the work on the right side of the needle. So I'm going to show you guys how to start another row. It's going to be the same thing. And you just repeat the knit stitch. So that's it for the knit stitch. You can basically complete a whole scarf with just the knit stitch, but learning just one more stitch, which is the purl stitch, and I'll show you that in the next video, will allow you to make a lot of different patterns. So stay tuned for the next video, and I'll see you guys next time.